Hello everyone and welcome to the 60X Business Show. My name is Hussein Kitumaini and together with my guests, we will have different conversations about business, entrepreneurship and life. This is the show you've been waiting for. Stay tuned. Welcome everyone. In today's conversation, my guest is the co-founder of UPlus Mutual Partners, which is a software development company here in Rwanda that created UPlus app, which enable saving and group saving to be done. It's really a reliable and secured application that's enable either family and friends to do group saving. And in the studio today, joining me is none than Edward Kirenga. Edward, welcome to the conversation.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me, Christian.
Oh, how are you today?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. I'm very, very happy to have you on the conversation.
Likewise.
Awesome.
Likewise, thanks.
Relax. It's going to be fun and it's going to be fine. On the 60X Business Show, you'll be spinning the wheel and then selectively we'll select a number and then from there I will ask you a direct question. Are you ready to spin?
I spin this?
Yes, please.
All right, sure.
Let's see which number you're going to get. What is your lucky number?
Definitely not one, but I guess we'll work with it.
That is one. Awesome. Edward, can you tell us the story behind UPlus and why the focus on fintech?
Sure. So the story of UPlus was we came together to understand that, people pull money together in the most informal way using non-tech. And we said, okay, how can we enhance that experience using technology, right? We're looking at the wedding market, people having weddings, contributing for the weddings and pulling the money together. And that's how UPlus was born, right? And then that went into, okay, how can we enable people who are doing this to efficiently pull their money together for savings? So that was the growth of UPlus. But by the way, UPlus means you plus me, right? That's why it's called UPlus Mutual Partners. The idea is that between us, okay, if we work together, we can go far, right? So that's why we call it UPlus Mutual Partners.
Wow. Yeah. So UPlus means you and me.
Yes.
Okay. For some of the viewers, as you heard, UPlus means you and me, us coming together to make our saving much better toward the common cause, right?
Right.
Wonderful. And how many users do you currently have on the app, and what makes you different?
All right, thank you. So right now we have around 230 active users. And I think what makes us different is that we focus on the user experience, okay? And we said already, things about pulling money are already complicated. People are very busy, right? And remember, on the mobile phone, there's so many apps you already engage with, from WhatsApp, even your banking app. And we're competing for that real estate. So we decided to focus on the user experience and making it really intuitive and to use the app and making it really secure platform. And as you said, when people use it and the feedback we've got from our users is that this app does not require a lot of thinking to understand it, and they feel like they can understand how the money comes in and goes out. So that's what differentiates us in terms of our service and the product that we're offering, and that's just the beginning.
Wonderful.
Yes.
That is really amazing. I like the way you pull some of the things together. Let's spin the wheel for another round of questions. You selected number 1. Let's see what's going to be on 8. 8 is your next lucky number.
Yeah.
Awesome. UPlus enabling group saving to be done. What do you think about the saving culture in Rwanda? Are we there yet, or there's still some room for improvements?
Actually, if you look at the numbers, 86% of Rwandans save, right? So saving culture in Rwanda is really high, right? In terms of adults. When it comes to youth, it's still low, and they're trying to get it up there. So saving culture in itself is really high there, but when you look at savings within formal institutions like banks, that's still low. All right, so we already know the culture of saving is there. So now the idea is, okay, how do we take people to beyond the informal ways of saving? And that's actually where we come from, right?
Yeah.
So despite having 16 different banks in Rwanda, the amount of penetration within the formal banking sector is still low. All right, so there's a gap there. Right? So that's where U+ comes in and says, okay, we know people like to save, they want to save, all right? But then it seems the banking institution not really capturing that demographic. So how do we come in? That's where U+ with a tech solution, looking at how mobile phone penetration is really going up there, all right? And people using mobile money, and there's Airtel Money, and U+ came in right in there and just decided to offer a product that's able to meet that need.
Wonderful. That is really amazing. And let me do a follow-up question. On top of creating the platform that enable people to save, is there other financial literacy training that the Plus can offer, or probably some tutorials or trainings that can be given out there for people to understand why it's important to save?
I'm glad you asked that. We actually, a few months ago, we worked on a U+ financial literacy product that we're trying to roll back in the next few months. So we understand beyond saving, we want people to understand the financial literacy side of it. So in the next few months coming within this year, we're trying to get that part going, and also working with different institutions who can help us really engage with our customers and provide them more information to understand how financial, how their financial lives work, and give them that knowledge that they need. Yes.
Wonderful. So stay tuned, guys. U+ has a full package on top of the platform, the technology being given. There is also more training about financial literacy that is out there to help you fully equipped about financial understanding, to help you drive your saving culture. And you as an entrepreneur, you start U+ with different co-founders. Can you tell us personally, how does it feel being an entrepreneur?
It's wild. It's a roller coaster, because there are some days you think you have something under control, and then honestly you wake up the next day and it's not even there. It's already gone. It's destroyed. All right. So once you understand that, and you understand there's so much you do not know, it really humbles you. And I think the main thing about being an entrepreneur is being comfortable with uncertainty, right? And that's what I learned earlier on. And once you're okay with that, then you're not getting scared of not knowing what's coming ahead. Actually, puts you in a better position to find solutions to problems that are out there, and even solutions to your business as well. Right? Our business went through some troubling times in 2019, and we had to literally start from zero again in 2020. But understanding that, okay, we do not control a lot. We only control what's within our own reach. I think that's part of being an entrepreneur, right? And then finding problems, finding solutions. Being solution oriented. Like I always tell my team, don't come to me with a problem. Always come to if you have a problem, come to me with a potential solution, and then we can work with it.
Wonderful. I like that when you said about being solution-oriented and be ready to face uncertainties, because no one knew 2 years ago that the pandemic will hit hard.
Right.
No one knew that in 2021, business in Q1 would be struggling, because there were some predictions that life will not go back to normal in 2021.
Correct.
But we're still struggling, being aware that uncertainty is still there, being more solution-oriented. My follow-up question will be around you picking up your business again in 2021. In 2021, what drove you move to start again? Why not giving up, but you did not allow the challenges you face to hold you down, but actually we need to come back again with these new products in the market. What drove that decision to come back again in 2021?
Sure. So the whole giving up thing, I think you also have to answer it from a systematic point of view. What I mean by that, you say, okay, do I give up because the market has changed, the opportunity is no longer there, or do I give up because internally within us we don't have what it takes to really face this challenge? All right. And after doing the analysis, looking at that, we say, okay, the opportunity is still there, the market is still there, so we are not giving up, all right? So what we did is said, okay, let's handle what we can handle, that's internally, and we made what was needed in terms of changes to go forward. So remember, after looking at those things, I said, okay, the opportunity is still there, okay? We still can create a solution that can meet the need, all right? All we have to do is sit back on the table, redraw everything, and start again.
Wonderful. I like coming to the table with all the strategies and starting again, and that is the resilience about this journey. That is the resilience about being an entrepreneur. Sometimes things don't connect the way they're supposed to connect, but coming back as a team, we strategize towards the vision that we're having, help us to move forward, and that's what you guys did.
Right.
It's really great.
Just to add on that, you said vision, and that's the thing, like, we're really passionate about this. Like, when we look at our vision, we say, listen, people want services for their funds, right? They want to go beyond saving, right? And we know that. So we're really passionate about it, and that's exactly what UPlus is all about. So as we go on this journey, we said we have not even begun, all right? So we cannot give up, right? Wow. So we have to really give the customers what we know they want, and from the feedback we've been receiving, we know we're right because they're asking us for the same things we knew a year ago that they'll be asking for. Wonderful.
As you heard from Edwards, entrepreneurship is not about giving up, and you need to be driven by the vision. The vision that if you want a company, the vision that you have the day you started your business. Remember, the customers are there, and they're waiting your solution, they're waiting your product. Edward, let's spin the wheel for another round of questions.
Sure.
You got 1, you got 8. Let's see what's going to be your next lucky number. 7. Wonderful. And talking about the pandemic, what are the challenges you're facing running your business in this time? And how are you solving those challenges? I know we're still in the pandemic, and a lot of businesses are affected, and in different ways. What are the challenges you're facing, and how are you solving some of those challenges?
Right. So before the pandemic, we used to have some marketing engagements where we go to meet our customers, in person. That was on the business development side of things, right? So that obviously had to stop. Then also when it came to how our team operates and works, we could not meet in an office, all right? So we had to adapt quickly. And the way we did it was we started having daily meetings, right? So for example, our day starts at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. we start our meeting to review what we did the previous day. And then we talk about what we're going to do on this day. All right, and then we run through it, and then we repeat that every single day. So we're always in constant communication with each other. So actually what the pandemic did was actually helped us improve our communication within us, and also become creative in how we reach our customers and get the word out there and actually meet them.
Okay, yes. That is amazing. And talking about the app, can you tell us how many users do you have currently on the app, and what makes the app different and unique?
Right, as I said earlier on, so we're at 220 right now, and I think what makes us unique is the user experience of the app, the ease of moving money in and out of the app, the ease of understanding that we're in a group of 10, 13 people, all right? It's easy to see who puts money in, who takes it out. You cannot have the theft, as most, in traditional groups where you give your money to someone, and you trust that person will take care of everything else, and then down the road you find some things missing. So we dealt with that process. We said, okay, make sure transparency is there, make sure it's easy and intuitive. But what I mean by intuitive is you do not want someone to always be asking, what's the next step in using this app? So we had to take that off. Yeah. We spent a lot of time in design. And moving forward as well, we're going to spend more time in that. And we get feedback from people on how we can improve it. So that's, I think, in terms of unique feature, is not only the product, but how the service can be, how the service experience is what differentiates us from other things on the market. Wonderful.
That is really amazing. For some of the viewers, go and check it out, UPlus Mutual Partners app, and it's a secure, reliable application that enables group saving to be done between you and your friend and family members. And you're gonna thank me later. And my follow-up question to Edward, you as an entrepreneur, you've been growing the business. What are the things that you've acquired during the growth of running your company now that back then when you started you had no clue about?
Right. So I think it's a management perspective. I think, you always assume that, okay, you have to, do this with the team, tell them exactly what needs to be done, and you have this whole helicopter philosophy. But for me, as I went through it, and actually what I learned is that if you just tell people, give them a few directional points, and they really will surprise you, and they'll go and do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And for me, what I learned is, just keep it simple with them. Keep it simple, and trust them to do the job, and they'll do it. All right. Only two things I ask from my team, even when I'm hiring people, is be good at communicating, all right, and do not lie.
Okay.
Yeah. The moment because if you try to lie and always try to make excuses, you can't work with me, because that means you're trying to hide from mistakes you made. The thing is, I understand we all make mistakes, and we'll make more mistakes as we grow. So let's take that out of the way. All right. Let's deal with that right now and say we understand you make mistakes. All right. You come here, we talk about our mistakes. You be honest with them, and that's why I think from 2020 onwards we've been able to make so much progress.
Wonderful. What's amazing, great learnings. Some of the things I picked, it's like, just be a good communicator and just be honest with yourself and also
Right.
the people that you work with, because honesty and transparency, even from within a team, help the work to be done and help a person professionally to go and be accountable to that. And going back to the journey of UPlus, you started your company back in 2017. What are the challenges that you've encountered during the growth, during the journey, and how are you solving those challenges?
So obviously the main challenge, there are two. One is getting enough financing to cover your operations, hiring people. And the second is actually hiring great talent. Right, and I've learned that I'd rather pay someone, good enough high salary, and in terms of using all the cash that we have to pay that person, because that person can do a job of 10 people, than hiring, a huge team at a lower cost. All right. For challenges in terms of finances, we were able to raise some financing in 2019, external financing from a fund, and that was our first seed round, so we're fortunate enough. But then moving forward, we decided to go back and bootstrap, so our co-founders like me and a few others are financing our operations from our own pocket.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. As you've heard, sometimes finance is a challenge, but UPlus was able to secure some seed funding and then also bootstrapping and working together as a team to pull some fund together. From a technology perspective, sometimes security is important for an app. How do you ensure security to UPlus? Do you work with banks? Do you work with telecoms to secure, to avoid frauds and ensure security is on the app?
Yeah, so that's a good question. We actually, yes, so security again is our top priority, all right, because we're handling people's money. So the UPlus where it is right now, if you're using MTN, we work with MTN within the MTN ecosystem. So on our end, we make sure that our communications with MTN are encrypted, all right, and also we make sure that our databases are protected with strong passwords, so not anyone can just get in within our own systems, and also that we use VPN to communicate with other third parties. So we make sure that we're always reviewing our security protocols and trying to improve them using the latest technology. But that's something that is always on the top of our mind. We're always reviewing it, and we're always working on it. So definitely security is a priority, and we make sure that we have the right tools in place.
Wonderful. So for the viewers, UPlus app is very, very secure, and there are a lot of key partners that the company work with. So my follow-up question will be, as a fintech company, what are the challenges that your company is facing dealing within the Rwandan markets, and how are you approaching those challenges?
All right. Obviously, as a fintech company, some of the challenges come from user awareness, and because I said again before, people already have so many products out there on the phone to have to engage with. So you're competing for that attention and that space. So we have to now fight with that in terms of marketing. Also, making sure people understand our product, understand the value of the product, having that, being able to effectively communicate that to them, right? So I would say that was the biggest challenge within the fintech space, and making sure that you're not seen as just another product out there that feels, okay, here we go again, right? So it's like, how do you stand out? So we're always working to make sure that we stand out from the crowd, and I think the way you do that is you offer, a superb product.
Wonderful. That is really amazing. And the application bring people together,
right.
Pull fund together. They can create group saving. What is the long-term plan of the company to be more sustainable? Are you planning to add more options, more functionality to the app to make it to be more sustainable in the long run?
Yeah, thank you for that. That's actually a great question. So we have gone through the first phase of the company. Now the next phase, all right, is adding products and services onto the platform. Remember, we're a platform, all right? And the way a platform is that if someone goes in, they can be able to, buy financial products and services. So our long-term plan is to add those financial products and services onto the platform. So we're hoping towards the end of this year, there'll be exciting products coming onto Uplus that our users can be able to engage with and do more than just savings, right? So savings, remember, is just a beginning, but then you have to go beyond that, and I think that's where the financial journey starts, and that's what Uplus is going to do. And we're trying to really, look at our customers and say, how do we take a customer, for example, a young kid in university who's just saving, how can we take them to a point where in 5 or 10 years when they have their first job, get married or have their first kid, but now they have other financial products under their pocket, and they feel that they are really financially secure. That's what Uplus is all about, and that's what our dream is, and that's what we'll be working on this year.
Wow, that is really amazing.
Yes.
For the viewers, as you've heard from Edwards, they're in the first phase, and then there is more products and more services that will be added on to the platform, and then they have good news for us in the next coming time to come. And talking about growth, are you planning in the long run replicate the solution to other African countries, because it's a great product that may solve some of the challenges into other markets?
Yes, absolutely. The good thing about what we have learned with collective funding in Rwanda is that it is similar to what happens in other countries. Take Zimbabwe, Kenya with the Chamas, and other regions across the continent. So that, in terms of the cultural know-how, is already there. So our plan is, once we get some traction, some comfortable traction within the market in Rwanda, we will immediately expand beyond Rwanda, probably within East Africa, and then from East Africa go across on the continent, because we see some similarities, and we think the product will be, welcome within those countries. So yes, expansion is within our plans.
Wonderful. That is really amazing. And we've seen during this pandemic, digital payments helping and making people's life much easier. With Momo transaction, people conveniently could do transaction, do different shopping. What is your take on the future of fintech as well as digital payments within the Rwandan market, you as one of the key players?
Actually, I was excited, despite the unfortunate events with COVID, when I saw the uptake in digital payments, because to me that told us that we're in the right place, all right? And now that more people are using their phone to transact, and getting involved, making digital payments or talking to their bank, we said, okay, now is the right time for us to really be aggressive, because now people understand what a digital platform is when it comes to finance. Okay, so it's, a few years ago, if you try to do what we're doing, it would be harder, all right? So there was an inflection point, and once that hit, and I think what COVID did, instead of having this happen, 3, 5, or 10 years later, COVID just brought the timeline really shorter, right? So that worked in our benefit, and we do not want to miss this opportunity.
Okay. What are like the top 3 key advices you've learned as an entrepreneur growing your business that you can share with other entrepreneurs out there? Top 3 advices.
One, don't take yourself too seriously. You're always learning. So most people get too caught up in their own ideas and what they're doing, so they block out any external advice. Always seek out that advice because you're always trying to improve on yourself and what you're building. The second I would say is, just keep learning, always researching. That goes back to a point when I hire my team, I always ask them, especially with technology, I'm like, how are you always improving yourself? If you're not, to me, you're dead in water, because 3 months down the road, someone else will come with a better product. So how are you always learning, how are you always pushing yourself? And I think the third is, stay in it. Just no matter what happens, you just have to stay in that ring, if you can call it the ring, and just keep fighting, right? You might be too early or you might be too late, no matter what, but just stay in there, because that's the only way you'll be able to test your theories, all right, and get answers to your questions.
Wonderful. Yes. I will pick up, and I like the third one of staying in the ring. And I always look at that as entrepreneurs as gladiators, where you go into the arena, you get punched, but you don't give up. You get knocked down, but you stand up again. You get knocked down, stand up again. It's all about not giving up, because the journey is long and with a lot of challenges. And
and don't make it personal. I think why people give up is they make it so personal, and they feel a criticism is an attack on them as an individual. And that's when they give up most of the time. They just say, I can't do this anymore. But if you separate those two things, I learned early on how to separate those. And once you separate that, then you can stay in that ring, and you say if you're getting those punches, you're like, it's part of the game. Just keep keep going.
Wonderful. Yes. I like that one. So let me wrap up this conversation with my last question. As an entrepreneur, if you could start over again in business, what business would you start and why?
Communication.
Okay.
Right, because...
communication business?
Yeah, I don't know, making easier and faster way of communicating, that would be the next thing. You know what, actually, can I change my answer?
Yes, you can. The question is, if you could start over in business,
right?
What business would you start?
I mean, looking at COVID and look what has happened, I think pharmaceuticals is the biggest thing out there, right? Providing the medicine that people would need, all right, that care that they need to take care of themselves and their loved ones, right? So you can, you can have a job, or you don't have a job, or you can have whatever you're doing, but no matter what, you always need to take care of your health. All right, so I look at pharmaceuticals as that, looking at new cutting-edge medicine, and that to me would be the place I would look into. Now, obviously, the capital requirements will be hard, so those are things you hope that you have, the capital to do that. But yeah, pharmaceuticals is exactly, and looking at the population we have here, right, not only in Rwanda, but on the continent, and the young population. So that to me is a booming market.
That is why there a lot of scientists and head of government, they're saying like government should invest in healthcare, because it's something that COVID taught us, that we really need to have good systems and infrastructure in place. And talking about pharmaceutical, it's an industry. If you have a great product, people always need you, and they will always come to you, because it's part of their day-to-day living.
Right, exactly.
Awesome. We are coming to the end of this conversation, and my guest was Edward Kirenga, who is the co-founder of U+ Mutual Partners. And if you haven't checked it out, please go on and download the application. It's enable group saving to be done among you and your friends. It's reliable and secure, and a lot of people are downloading it by actually. Thanks a lot, Edward, for making it to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Yes.
I really enjoyed the conversation. Till next time, please stay home. Be safe, wear your mask, and I see you down the roads. The conversation continue on social media using the hashtag 60xbusiness. Remember to tag me, my handle, it's @Christian Kitumaini. Thanks a lot for tuning in.